All right, so here we are, folks. First episode of Making the Cut with Zkut Machine. I told y'all my first episode was going to be bringing my dad along. We're going to talk to him about his experience in the machining field and what he's taught me. And he's basically taught me everything there is to know about hunting, fishing, machine work, all the good stuff about life. So we're going to talk to him. This is my dad, Kermit Jones. Dad, why don't you give him a little bit of background of your machining experience? How long have you been a machinist?
Probably 45 years, 50 years.
50
long time,
years.
Long time.
It's a long time. Did you, what was your first job as a machinist? Where did you get your first job at?
At Drill Prodco.
Drill Prodco. Was that in Hobbs?
It's in Hobbs. They're still on Blair Tools there now.
Blair Tools there. I still actually buy some steel from the machine shop he's talking about. I actually still buy some steel from there. So they're a long time running machine shop that's still around in Hobbs. What was your main thing about being a machinist? Did you want to be a machinist, or was it just?
No, I was 19 years old and had to have a job.
Were you married with mom?
No,
you hadn't married with mom?
I wasn't married yet, no. Didn't get married until I was 21.
Okay, so Kara wasn't even coming around
no.
then. So it was just basically a job. And do you remember what your first job was in the machine shop?
Well, the first job I had there was working on downhole tools.
What were you doing? Were you running a lathe, a mill? What were you?
I wasn't yet. I was just cleaning them and magnafluxing them, check for cracks and redressing them.
So you were basically doing what?
I was a grunt.
You were a grunt,
Yeah,
a worm.
grunt,
You know what they call a worm in the oil field.
Yeah,
you were a worm. So they were just doing. That's kind of how you start out in every machine shop, really. I think you kind of got to start out at the bottom. You got to start out cleaning pans or whatever, things like that. So you started painting reamers and stuff like that, and so who was your mentor? Like when you first got on a machine, what was your first machine that you ran?
Danny Newland trained me on the mill.
Danny Newland, okay.
Yeah,
and I'm good friends with Bobby Newland, his son.
He showed me how to. We was cutting pockets on the roller reamers.
Okay.
For
all right.
The cutters and pins and stuff like that.
What kind of mill were you using? Was it like a big Cincinnati?
Big Cincinnati.
Okay,
big Cincinnati.
Yeah. I figured it had to be a big Cincinnati mill to do something like that. Do you remember ever any really tough jobs that you had, or was it mainly the same thing in and out, or was it just different jobs?
There at Drill Prodco, it was just the same thing, day in, day out.
There's a bad flies coming in here today.
Yeah.
So let me ask you another question. Do you ever remember your toughest job, like at Drill Prodco? Like, what was the toughest job that you had, whether it was on a lathe or on a mill?
Well, I didn't run the hog spindle much at all there. A little bit, but I didn't get the threads right on a line pipe. I didn't know. Nobody showed me.
So you did a job and you got them wrong or something?
Yeah, I got the thread wrong. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I split the thread because you gotta have a different lead on your.
Right, 11 and a half threads.
Yeah.
You have to have a lead. You got to go in on the half on your thread dial, right?
That was about only it. But
Who was it? R.A. Blair that got on your ass or what?
No, nobody got on me. No.
No.
Nobody said anything. Just had to do it over.
Just do it over, right?
Yeah.
Got to do it right the first time.
Right.
So, we're going to talk a little bit more about how I became a machinist. But when me and you were in the shop working together, we worked together for a while. What was it like working with me, at the beginning, and what was it like? Be honest, too.
At first, it was kind of a pain in the ass, son working for me.
And I'm
I
kind of ornery.
had to go get your ass out of bed a couple times.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Late, up all night, sometimes drinking beer and whatnot, and I didn't want to go to work. But when I did go to work, that work got done for sure. But
Yeah.
I remember a few times we got into it. There's a lot of things that it was hard for me to learn, like indicating the material and stuff like that. And I'm real hard on myself anyway. And I remember sometimes that I would just get freaking pissed and throw stuff and, but for all in all, we had a pretty good,
Yeah.
pretty good run. And you taught me a lot of things, and taught me how to machine real fast and thread and, but what do you think about today's machining world compared to like when you started? Like, what do you think about the technology and whatnot? What do you think about all that? Do you think that
A lot of it's going CNCs, and I never cared for CNCs. But
why not?
in the end, you had to have them.
Right. Why you say why not? Why you never really cared for them? Why not? What was it?
Well, I just like my manual machines. I like doing it manually.
Yeah.
Me
too.
I didn't care for. I never hardly ever ran a CNC.
Right.
They're for multiple jobs.
Right.
10, 15, 20 pieces.
Yeah, I don't really like them either. I ran a lot of them, and through shops that I worked at, and I still probably want to get one sooner or later in the shop, but right now I still really like running my manual machines. I feel like there's more like more heart in the parts you make. Everything, even like these repairing these parts on these wellheads or whatever. I put everything into them. And you can't really tell AI how to fix something, so we're still above the game in that. So I was gonna talk to you about my 5 manly commandments that I brought up for Zkut, and we talk about grit, integrity, and courage, and discipline, and protecting the things that you love. And those are kind of like mine. I mean, that's just my personal thing. Like, do you have anything like that? Like you would suggest to a man, that he needs to have? Like, what would one of those qualities be?
Well, when you do a job, you do it the best of your ability.
Right.
And you do it like I always told you, you're going to do this part like you're going to buy it. You're going to buy this part, so you want the best quality.
It's got to look nice.
Got to look good.
Cosmetics were a big thing in the oil field. They say it might not work, but as long as it looks good, it'd be good to go. But but if you got to do everything right, and that's part of integrity. Even when you're working late at night and nobody's there. I remember a job that I was working there at Bilco one time, and I think it was the only job that I got kind of in a bind there. I was cutting a swivel sub, and I cut the threads wrong.
Yeah,
and the threads, and I didn't mic it right, but I was just in a hurry, and then we just let it go, and that job actually came back, and it was a major screw up on my part. The threads actually came off, and they came back to the machine shop, and I got my ass ate out. But I remember that, and that's just a part of, like, you have to, even when nobody's watching, you have to have the integrity to do the right thing, to make the part right, and and make sure it works. I want to ask you, like, you got me and Bryson, and Bryson has kids. I want to, like, what do you want Bryson's kids or Bryson to remember about you most? Like, what do you really want him to remember?
That I was a good guy.
That you was a
always
good guy.
Behind him, behind him, behind you,
Yeah.
Got your back, got his back.
And I think what my dad means by a good guy, he's just an old schooler, folks. Like, he's just an old school, integrity, honest, man of his word. Things that he taught me.
Yeah.
That's a lot of things that he's taught me. So, and I want to bring that to people, and I want Bryson to remember that. We're also going to talk about Man, what else are we gonna? There's so much stuff that I wanted to cover with you. I had to write some notes down. So being a machinist in today's world, like what would you, like if there was an 18-year-old guy, 19-year-old guy just like you that wanted to be a machinist, what would your advice, what would you give the advice to him or her in that field? What would be the first thing?
Oh gosh. Do the job right and do it quick as you can.
Quick as you can?
Yeah.
I would
do it
say
right first.
I would say learn how to read a ruler.
Yeah, most kids don't know how to read.
Because seriously, there's like most young people today you would be surprised that do not know how to read a ruler. That's not very proficient in math, geometry, just basic problem solving skills.
Yeah.
You know, like I would probably think like if you were a machinist and you wanted to be a machinist, go to your local machine shop. Most towns will have a machine shop, some sort of machine shop maybe, and go there and talk to the owner, talk to somebody who works there, and see if they need a hand. That's how you get in. You know, you get in and you act interested. I always talk about working with passion and working with purpose. You know.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like. You got to go in there and get your hands dirty, you know. I'm sure we're going to bring you on more throughout the podcast and whatnot while I'm doing this. Like I said, this is my first time doing this, and it's the first time for my dad to do this too. And we're just old country boys, you know. We're just machinists. I wanted to make it as real as possible. You know, I'm working on the lathe. I'm going to shut down my little studio here, and we're going to go back to work on the lathe. But I'm going to bring my dad on some more in other episodes. And if y'all have any questions for my dad, I would like to hear from y'all. Find me on Instagram. I know a lot of y'all follow me on Instagram, on TikTok. If you want to ask me any questions, if you'd like to ask my dad any questions, we can cover that on the next episode. But this was just like a little dive into who my dad is and what he's taught me. You know, those core manly commandments that I really want to get out there, and I really want to tell young men about. I'm just doing the best I can. I'm leaving a legacy with my dad. Hopefully Bryson and his sons or his daughters can watch this one day and be proud of us. So I'm glad y'all tuned in to Making the Cut with Zkut Machine. I hope y'all join me for the next episode. I'll get a little better, and it'll be a fun ride. I'm thinking the next episode we're going to talk a little bit about machine work and about machines. We'll probably dive into the parts and safety procedures of a manual lathe, and we'll just kind of go from there. And hopefully we'll have on some other guests soon too. So, Dad, I want to thank you for being here.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for teaching me everything that I know, because I'm a badass and he is too. We love y'all. We love America, and God bless the working man. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye.